Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to part 5 of why we play the game. It's almost game night. I would love to know what you guys do to prepare for game night. Do you listen to your favorite musical artist, a couple of CDs before game time? Do you pop in one of your favorite fantasy or science fiction movies? Do you write your notes? Do you go over your notes over and over, going through the monster manuals or rule books, contemplating every possible outcome of the planned adventure? Do you do something else? I would really like to know. A lot of things come to mind when I get ready for a game night. As a matter of fact, my son and I are going to have a little game of Shadows of Brimstone tonight, or maybe Wednesday. We'll see. It's not a big deal, but it spurred on today's topic. I want to get the little guy, really in the mood. We haven't been able to play a good old fashioned game in a while, with all his busyness, his school activities, and of course, helping me out here on the channel. It really takes up a lot of time. Not so much the channel, but school and homework and after school activities. Some of which you got to hear about yesterday on Connell's show, where he vaguely explained what he did. He's the master of vagaries. But I'd really like to know what you guys do. Personally, I do a little bit of both. We're actually going to be playing a board game, so there's not a whole lot to prepare for. It does take some time setting up the table for a good game night of Shadows of Brimstone. If any of you have played that wonderful board game that, I've got dozens of boxes of expansions up there. And we got a new expansion a while ago, quite a while ago, I think in April, and I believe it's taken us all the way to, no, it wasn't April, it was after April, but it's taken us quite a while to actually get to be able to sit down and play a game like that. It's it's supposed to be a 90-minute game, but invariably it takes us 3 to 6 hours to play a good game. Less as we get better at the game, or at least as he gets better, less distractions and things like that. But I really want to get him into the mood, and as you guys know, it's a dungeon crawl Western Call of Cthulhu amalgamation sort of weird game with mystic portals that lead to other dimensions and other realms and things like that. And normally it just takes popping in the CD that came with the game. Shadows of Brimstone does come with a musical CD of about 11 tracks of pretty inspirational and mood setting music. But there's no real movie or anything like that gets you into the mood for Shadows of Brimstone. Not yet, anyways. And hopefully, maybe they'll put out a video game, in which case you'll never see us again, because that's all we'll be doing in our spare time. But the game itself is a lot of fun. But as he gets older and time goes by and we don't get to play as often, there's a lot of time to forget little subtle details about the game, and I tend to go through the rule book and go through the adventure pages in the adventure guide and get ready. Fortunately, this time the game we're playing has a smaller adventure guide, but I've actually yet to read it, and I need to go through that before we actually play. It's only about 8-9 pages, so it wouldn't take too long. But I really want to know what you guys out there do. Is there some special ritual that you go through, some sort of routine that you strictly adhere to, or roughly adhere to, things that just get you pumped? I know back in the old days we would play some heavy metal music before a good game of D&D or Traveler, and just get into the mood that way. We didn't really go with the watch a movie or watch a TV show or anything like that, because that was sometimes about as much time as we got to play. So sucking up our game time with watching Conan again for the 50th time or something like that just really wasn't a big, way to get inspired. Now, the night before or something like that, I could see my friends watching Conan or something like that. But honestly, a lot of times back in the day, we played every day, so there wasn't, a whole lot of time. This was how we relaxed, how we unwound from the work day or something like that. Um, and I'm wondering, if you guys will, throw down in the chat section, or those of you that have my email address that's in most of our videos, I'll pop it into this video again, and see what you guys do. Maybe there's something that I've never tried. Obviously there's the clearing of the table and the preparing the snacks. I always make French bread pizza for my gamers when we play, so that we have something solid and, I don't want to say healthy, but something better than just an entire bag of Doritos per player kind of thing. And yeah, we kind of do that. I know I can go through a bag of barbecue potato chips in about an hour without, if I don't stop myself, and I need to stop myself because it's not a healthy snack choice. It's delicious, but it's not healthy. And getting the dice ready, going over the maps and the monsters that are in the monster manual, if that's the case, and making sure I know all the little details, all the little tricks that they might pull, spell lists of monsters and treasure lists and things like that for that kind of game. Other games, your miles may vary, but I really want to get the little guy back into the swing of things. With Thanksgiving break coming up, as well as Christmas vacation, even though he may be out of town for a couple of weeks, I don't want him to forget, and I don't want him to, just not get burnt out. That's not really a possibility, but to get distracted from the little bit of gaming that we do get to do. And we've already discussed some of the games we're going to play, at least during the Christmas holidays. There's some board games and a couple of war games, a couple of games we've promised to beta test for a few people, things like that. And if you've got, if you do something that I haven't mentioned, especially, if your answer is just the same, yeah, I throw in, Babylon 5 and watch a couple episodes before the next game of Traveler, that's cool. But that's kind of a reiteration of what I've already said. But I'd really, like to hear what you guys do. Not that I'm running out of ideas, but I'm hoping for something a little bit different, for myself at least, so that I can be also as enthusiastic about playing the games that I play with my son and my friends. Especially with Halloween coming, we really, want to get some games in before, the end of the month. I mean, this is one of the classic gamer months, that being October. For those of you who watch this video later on down the road, I've always run a game of Caliban through Arduin's set of modules. Caliban was a regular thing. I've run that module going on 21 times, something like that, last count, and I always run it as a Halloween adventure. It's quite literally a flying Dutchman of dungeons. It travels from dimension to dimension, opening its doors wide to let in monsters and adventurers so that it can repopulate and refill itself, so that it can revel in the evil and the mayhem and the carnage that transpires within its walls. And it's always been a great Halloween adventure for my friends. Various groups of friends over the years. Obviously, my same group hasn't been in it 20 times. My regular group has only been in it 2 or 3 times out of the 20 that I've run it. And I've run it ever since I was, I want to say, about 14 years old. So I don't get to run it every Halloween. Sometimes things, get in the way, life, that sort of thing. But I want to, really start pumping it up. I know I've been taking a break from game mastering after these almost 42 years of being a forever dungeon master, and getting to play in other people's games has reinvigorated my perception of what it's like to be a gamer, and having had the experience behind the other side of the GM screen, I don't really miss being a dungeon master, but I know it's kind of a responsibility as a forever DM to keep my players, wanting to come back to the table and always learning how to be a better dungeon master. And part of that has actually literally been by being a player. I recommend that all you DMs out there, get into a game and be behind that vast unknown of the dungeon master's screen, and just trust your DM, your GM, your referee, your runner, whatever you call it. Trust them to steer you right and get you into a great game of some sort, whatever your poison may be, and enjoy that side. But it's time I get back behind the driver's seat and take charge of a couple of games. Even though I'm going to continue to jump into any game that I'm welcome to join, and don't try to hit me up with too many invites right now. I've got a new invite, and I just can't find the day or the night to participate. I'm really looking forward to Omen Owl's Pugmire game, and even that game is coming close to not being a possibility for me, at least, and my son, because of time constraints. But back to the topic. If you guys have any suggestions of what you guys do, I really, really want to hear about them in the comment section, or my email, or Discord, or wherever you are comfortable getting a hold of me. If you want to keep it private, if you've got some secret ritual, if it involves black candles and chickens, just keep it to yourself. I've already been there, done that, and it's not something I'm fond of talking about. But I've seen it. Didn't wasn't my idea, but I've seen it, and you do stupid crap when you're young. But whatever your thing is, let me know. And I've rambled on long enough about such a short topic. I'm gonna let you guys go and get back to your regularly scheduled programming. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow with a game review, but it won't be Shadows probably. Well, it might be. We'll see. Maybe I'll get that game going tonight, or maybe it'll just have to wait until next week for you guys to see what happened deep down in the mines. But until then, have a great day, a great week, and happy holidays.